Okay, we're gonna see if this works because it was freezing up on me earlier. So, hello everybody, I'm Lori Landsberg. I am otherwise known as Limelight Lori. Hi Amanda Danielle. And I was freezing up earlier. Hopefully this will not freeze up, but I want to show you guys how I get perfect brows every time. Hi Alicia. And one thing I do want to be really clear on is it does matter what kind of tools that you're using. Hey, I got off Jill because it kept freezing up on me, so hopefully it won't this time. It was freezing up on me kind of like our lake is frozen right now because it's 10 degrees out. Okay, so if you can probably see a difference in my brows. That's because I've done this one and I have not done this one. My brows are super sparse, but it's important that you take care of your brows. You keep them trimmed and you keep them shaped so that you can frame your face. That's what your brows do. They frame your face. As the windows, your eyes are the windows to your soul. Your brows are super, super important. They're like the curtains for your eyes. But they frame everything, and without them, you do not look polished and you do not look symmetrical, I guess you could say. This is a really easy way I'm going to show you on how to get your brows perfect every time. So you need to make sure you have the right tools and the right products. But the first thing I want to show you is how you know where to start your brow, where to end your brow, and where to have the arch, because that's very important. I have to get used to looking at the hole and not my face. So I want to look at you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you about this. This is a brow tamer brush, and we do carry these at Limelight. These are all professional grade brushes. What I love about it is that it has a spoolie on one end, which is fantastic for multiple things that have really nothing to do with your brows, but it's just a good tool to have on hand. And then this is the brush end, and it is an angled brush. It's watch what happens. It's extremely fine pointed. As I turn it, it practically disappears. It is such a fine point. I loved our old brow tamer brush. This one I love even more. My girls who've tried it can say so if you have used it too. But they're both really great. Now, what can you use the spoolie for besides brushing your brows? You can use it if you put mascara on and you get mascara, you touch your eyelid. Well, what happens if you use a Q-tip to get it off is you rub off your eyeshadow, and that's no good because you spent time doing your eyeshadow. If you take this and you just flick your eyebrow, if you just flick the mascara off your eye, it comes right off. Also, if you're using not so great brushes, then you might find that you have hairs on your face. Or if an eyelash falls off, or if a piece of fuzz gets on your face, you don't want to use your finger to take it off because you've just done your makeup and you don't want to take your makeup off. So take the spoolie end of your brush and just go flick, 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 and that gets it right off. So this is a multi-use tool, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite, my top 6 brushes, and this is one of them, and I use it every single day. So you're going to need this. And I'm going to show you with this brush how you decide where your brows start and the arch is. When you hold this tool straight up at the side of your nose, straight up, that is where your brow should begin, right there, okay? Now, if you take this brush and you hold it at your nose at the corner of your eye, then that is where your brow should end, okay? Then if you do a 45-degree angle to your pupil, then that's where the brow should arch. That's a very easy way to know the shape of your brows. Okay, so I'm going to take it first of all, and I'm going to brush my brow out. That's going to help get the makeup. I've already put my foundation on, so that's going to help get makeup out. Now, the two things that I'm going to be using besides my tool, I'm going to use setting spray. This is made by Limelight. It's carried by Limelight. It's not made by Limelight. All of our products are made by different vendors, top vendors from around the world that Alcone Company carries in their store. And this company, Scandinavia, is actually who supplies our setting sprays and primers. So this setting spray is really great. It has a 16-hour hold. We call it 10 years younger. When we finish with our makeup, we spritz it on our face, but it's fantastic for using with your eyeshadows, which is what I'm going to use today to create that perfect brow. The sister brow, not the twin, but the sister brow. Okay, hey Samantha. And so I'm going to use 2 colors from this eyeshadow palette. So I'm using all professional grade eyeshadows, And this one, as you can tell, is the only one. Now, I've had this for a year and a half. This is just me personally. I use this one all the time for my brows. And you can tell that I use it. The other ones I haven't even touched the bottom, and it's just so much pigment, and that's what you get out of a professional grade makeup. They're also very reasonably priced. So I like to use two shadows. I actually use this, which is number 40, called Taupe for the Best, and I use number 28, which is called Ashen for Trouble. These are $12 each, but you can get them in palettes of 4. You get to choose the 4 colors you want, or you can get a palette of 6. And you can choose those 6 that you want, or you can get all 18 shades if you would like. Very, very good eyeshadows. So this is how I do my brows. I take the 10 Years Younger setting spray and I hold my brush up to my finger and I depress it gently, just gently. If I do a whole, it's too much if I do a whole depression. So I just barely do that, and you can see it shoot out, and that's the reason I put my finger out there, so I can see that it's actually shooting, and also I don't like to waste it. Now, if you do that and you don't have any in the pump when it's primed, then you can also spray it into the cap. Just spritz it into the cap. Hey, cousin. And then you can dip your brush right into the cap, and then that wets your brush. You don't want a lot of that on there, but you want enough. In fact, I'm just going to do it. I just spritzed it in there. Okay, so once you get your brush wet, you're going to take it and you're going to run it through your powder, your eyeshadow. Remember that eyeshadow is it's just pigment. That's all this is. Just like blushes are just pigment. Don't think that you can't wear these on your cheeks and you can't wear your blushes on your eyes, because you can. Pigment is pigment. I even put it on my lips at times. But you do have to wet your brush for it to work. So I just took a little bit on my brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, but I don't start here at the front, because if I do that, I'm going to put the most pigment there, and then it's going to be too dark. So I want to start around here, and I'm just going to follow the line that's already there, that natural line, and move forward. That way I don't get too dark right there. Can you already see? I don't know if you can already see, but you can already see there's a really nice line there. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Barry from Toronto. Hey, Jenny. Okay, so I'm going back into that shadow. I'm going to take my brush and kind of brush them kind of down and that way, because now I want to do the same thing up here. For me, I have hooded lids, so for me, I want to do most of my building up here so it has a lifting effect instead of down here where it can drag your eye down. Now, the leftover pigment, just for right now, that I have on my brush, I'm going to go and fill in my brow. I'm just going to do this. Okay, and then I'm going to take it and go like this. Get a little, because I'm really sparse in this area. I don't have a whole lot of, I don't know what's going on. I need to put some Wonder at Wonder on that. Okay. Now then you take your brush and you can brush up and out. Okay, it's already looking a whole lot better, right? Okay, so now I'm going to spritz my brush a little bit again. No, I'm not. I put it in the cap. So I'm going to get it out of the cap. And then I'm going to take a darker color, and I just like to do this. This is number 28, Ashen for Trouble. Can you see the difference? It's a little hard with the lighting, but it's just a tad darker. Now, the colors that are most popular, I find, for women who are doing their brows is number 40, Taupe for the Best, 28, Ashen for Trouble, and 27, which is La Vida Mocha, and also Brownie Points. I use that for women who have brown and black hair, and that works really well for them. So I'm going to take this Ashen for Trouble. I like the tail of my brow to be a touch darker, and I also like it to be super thin. So I'm going to start here at the top because I like an arch, and I want to define that arch, and I'm going to bring it down. Now, it's different for the other side of my face. For my other eye, I kind of brace my hand with my pinky, and I do this, but I do not move my wrist. I move my hand like this. I find when I move my wrist, I can't get a straight line. So what I'm going to do is go back. Okay, See that? Now I'm going to go here with the leftover, and I'm going to just kind of meet them. And go on this side and get a nice little thickening right there. If you mess up, that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can clean it up. Okay, so how's that? That looks pretty good, right? It looks a whole lot better than it did. And I'm having a hard time seeing, but I think that looks good. I love this brush. It has really made a difference. And I feel like this is a little sparse, so I'm going back in there with that leftover pigment, and I'm just going to fill it in. And then I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to brush it out. I have like a hole right there. That's so weird. Okay. Now I have brows. It makes a huge difference. So now let me show you what I love to do when I'm finished actually doing my brows. I like to define them, and I like to go underneath with my concealer brush and a concealer. Our concealers are really great. They are made by Krylon. Just a little side note, these concealers by Krylon, actually Kevin Aucoin was an incredible talented makeup artist who died way too young, but he actually used these concealers as his foundations on his models because he did not believe that you had to have a full face of foundation. He would just put it in areas where maybe to hide redness or to hide discoloration, and he used these exact concealers for that. I'm going to take number 0, and I'm going to take my concealer brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit here. If you make a mistake, or even if you don't make a mistake, this is just a really great way to define your brows underneath. I take it like this, and I follow it. And what this is doing is it's also creating a really nice separation between your brows and your shadow. And it also, because I like to put lighter colors here, I don't even have to put an eyeshadow there because I do this. But this can also clean up any mistakes that you might have made. Now once you run that sort of bead, that line under there, you take your brush and you pull down and it blends it in. Get a nice arch going, especially for those of us who have the hooded eyes or the droopy lids. If you make an arch, what is it doing? It's lifting and it's raising the eye up. This one has a better arch, I think, than this one. But I could fix that. I could go under there and fix that. This is our lightest color, number 0. Now let me pull that down. We have 8 colors, I believe. 7 or 8 colors. You can use these concealers to highlight, contour. You can use them for blemish cover-up, so you'd want the color of your actual complexion. But I just love the way it makes your brows look. Now you could take a color of concealer that's not light, that's actually this color of your skin, and if you made a mistake on the top, you could do this and you could follow it along same way, and you can get an perfect line if you mess up. If you mess up, that's okay. Just go back over it. I don't need to do this, but to show you. Okay, and there we go. Now I have brows. So the 3 products that I use to get the brows is the Brow Tamer brush, which I'm telling you, this is worth its weight in gold, and it's only $14. It's really fantastic. Our setting spray, which is called 10 Years Younger setting spray, it is phenomenal. It's great for holding on product. It holds on your makeup, so when I'm finished with my makeup, I'm going to spritz this all over my face, and it just sort of seals it all in. It lasts for up to 16 hours. It's fantastic. And then I use eyeshadows. These are professional grade eyeshadows. So if you guys want to check any of that out, that is all on my website, my retail site, which is limelightbylori.com. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment below, and I'm happy to answer them for you. And I would love to see if you guys decide to try these brows for yourself, to pop some pictures in the comments below. I'd love to see what a great job you did. So good luck with that, and let me know if you have any questions or if I can help you with anything else. Okay, and y'all have a great day.